Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the beautiful sign of Sagittarius for the mid-August time period. I hope all my Sagittarius friends are doing great. As you know, this is a general reading, so there will be some parts that do not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest behind. You may also want to check out your other signs as well. I've already meditated on the cards. I've already shuffled the cards. And this is the spread that I have for you today, dear Sagittarius. In the past position, we have the Queen of Swords, clarified by Justice. In the challenging position, we do have the Chariot, clarified by the Hierophant. In the present position, we have the Page of Swords, clarified by the Three of Wands. And in the future outcome position, we have the Five of Swords, clarified by the Hermit. This is definitely a very interesting spread, dear Sagittarius. Now, in the past position, we do have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, when she appears in the past position, suggests to me that you had to make a decision in the past in order to bring some kind of fairness to a situation or perhaps to a relationship, because of course, justice means rebalancing the scales and making a situation where all parties benefit fairly and benefit equally, if you will. But definitely when we have this combination, the Queen of Swords with the Justice card, it definitely suggests to me that there was a time in the past where you acted quickly in order to take advantage of a particular opportunity, of a particular relationship, or of a particular situation. And even, usually when you have the Queen of Swords, there could be a little bit of sacrifice as well that you had to make perhaps for a particular situation or a particular relationship, but it actually worked out for you quite well. You were able to receive the justice and you were able to receive the results that you wanted to see, and that created a really strong foundation for you, dear Sagittarius, from which you continue to benefit to this day. And also the divine here reminds you, when you have the Queen of Swords in the past position, that you were able to see very much clearly. You were able to be very logical and very rational in pursuit of your dreams and in pursuit of your goals. And that is exactly what you're going to need in the month of August. You're going to have to stay grounded and you're going to have to be able to communicate very clearly moving forward, especially when it relates to the most important aspects of your life, which, it's definitely important to be aware of that. Now, in the challenging position, we do have the Chariot card. I don't particularly like the Chariot card in the challenging position because to me it suggests that you don't really have as much control as you would like to have, because the Chariot is all about control. We see this person standing, in this vehicle, if you will, and these two beasts in front of him that are driving this vehicle forward. Well, when you have the Chariot in the challenging position, it suggests to me that you don't have any control, or perhaps that control is being delayed. There's lack of movement forward. There's lack of any kind of movement at all. Perhaps, actually movement backwards, which is not, something that we want to experience. But generally, when you have the Chariot in the challenging position, it does signify that there is lack of control in a major way. So it could be that there's a significant relationship that you have where you don't feel as much control. Perhaps there's a significant situation that is happening in your life where you don't feel as much control. But it's definitely kind of delaying progress of different things in your life, because when you don't have control in a relationship, it can affect other aspects of your life as well. Now, the Chariot here is clarified by the Hierophant. The Hierophant generally is a wonderful card to have, but when you have it in the obstacle position, it could mean that, you are very much limited by the traditions in your life or by the beliefs that have been instilled in you in your life. It could be that you are It could be that you are, as you were growing up, you were told to believe this or to believe that. And so, as an older person, you continue to believe those things, but they are in fact limiting you from progressing. They're in fact limiting you from achieving the dreams, that you want to achieve, and goals as well. It could be that you need to expose yourself to very different people in your life so that you can learn from that, so that you can see how, there are many different rules out there. You don't have to follow the rules that someone close to you told you. Perhaps they no longer work for you. Perhaps they're keeping you from that progress that you want to achieve. But definitely when you have the Chariot and the Hierophant combination, this is a very significant obstacle. Both of these cards are major arcana cards, and they're quite, important in our everyday life, because the Chariot, generally represents victory and moving forward and taking charge of a situation. So if you are unable, to move forward and take charge of a situation, that definitely requires you to adapt and to kind of reevaluate certain things in your life. Perhaps there are people and there are situations that no longer serve you, and perhaps you have to let them go. Perhaps there are rules and knowledge that you received from other people that no longer serves you. Perhaps those rules have to be let go. Perhaps that knowledge has to be released and new knowledge has to be created in order for you to kind of manifest into reality the life that you want to live, the life that you want to see. But there's definitely a transformation, dear Sagittarius, that is happening for you in the month of August. And remember that there are many different resources around you. There are many different people around you that you could reach out to and create your own community and create your own tribe. You don't always have to play by someone else's rules. You don't always have to agree with someone else's opinion. You can pursue and find people that agree with your opinion, because the divine has created you for a purpose. The divine has created you for a reason, and the divine honors you, so you should honor yourself as well. Now, in the present position, we do have the Page of Swords clarified by the Three of Wands. I actually really like this combination because it tells me that you're going to do something very much out of the box in the month of August. You are going to pursue a new experience. You're going to have a new experience that will definitely open your eyes, that will definitely give you an ability to see a bigger picture, because the Three of Wands is all about seeing many different opportunities out there. And the Page of Swords, he's quite a curious person. He wants to go on an adventure. He wants to see what the world has to offer to him. So he definitely likes to kind of check out different groups. He likes to check out different, books or activities that can, bring him to like-minded people. The Page of Swords is very well known to kind of set out on an adventure that will bring new opportunities and new fresh ideas into his life, so that he can, really reevaluate some of the goals and maybe create new goals to pursue. And the month of August is actually a really good time to plant new seeds, so that you, as the year progresses, so that you can, reap the rewards. You want to continuously plant seeds because that will give you continuous rewards. The harder you work now, the better the results you're going to have later. And of course, the wands are also about taking a risk. Sometimes when you want to, meet someone new or do something fun that you've never done before, sometimes it involves taking a risk. So don't be afraid to take a risk to pursue something new, because it will provide you with a great payoff, which you will definitely greatly appreciate. Now, in the future outcome position, we do have a slightly unpleasant combination. We do have the Five of Swords clarified by the Hermit. It's not a very optimistic, not very exciting combination, because the Five of Swords is a well-known card of conflict. It's a card of winning at all costs, but then having a little bit of a reputation loss as well. We do see this person standing with three swords because he's one, and we do see two other people walking away towards the water, which represents emotions. They're trying to heal their emotions, but they're not very happy with this person that is, standing up front here. And it could mean for you, dear Sagittarius, that towards the end of August you may be surrounded by people who don't really see eye to eye with you, who don't really agree with your ideas, or perhaps they just don't understand them. Perhaps they are just, very much thinking about something else. But there is a little bit of disagreement towards the end of August that you may feel. Don't expect a lot of understanding. Don't expect a lot of support as you move through the month of August, especially by people that have been surrounding you for quite a long time, and that may leave you a little bit confused, and that is why we have the Hermit in the clarifying position, because the Hermit is all about kind of, taking time out to recharge. It's all about taking the time out to reevaluate things that no longer serve you, and kind of look at different relationships in your life and see what needs to be let go, and what needs to be perhaps readjusted, refocused, done in a better way. Definitely sometimes relationships can become deeper and more meaningful if enough time and energy is placed on them. But when you have the Five of Swords showing up, definitely perhaps there's one or two relationships that are no longer going to help you and serve you, and the divine here is calling upon you, Sagittarius, to let people go, because remember, some people come into our life for a lifetime. Sometimes people come into our life for, a few months or perhaps a year. It depends on each and everyone's individual situation, of course. But let's see what we can clarify with the two energy oracle cards that I pulled. And we've got Sixth Chakra Archangel Metatron and Attachment. Sixth Chakra Archangel Metatron is all about having clarity of thought and personal vision. This very powerful Archangel Metatron brings brilliant vibrations to your brow chakra, or third eye, which is the center devoted to insight and clear thought. When this card appears, it tells us that a much greater clarity is coming into your life. Some new perceptions are taking hold and confusion is kind of clearing. So in some ways this could be a new beginning, because you are on your way to developing a really deep understanding of your inner voice and of your intuition. Now is the time to focus on your personal vision. What do you want your life to look like in the years ahead? So make sure you ask that question of yourself. Make sure you focus on what is important to you specifically, and don't be distracted by people around you. Not your spouses, not your children, not your friends, not your neighbors, but what is important to you. And that's why we have the Hermit as well in this spread, because the Hermit is asking you to maybe step aside for some quiet time, to really, meditate, to really listen to your thoughts, to really pay attention to which direction you're moving in, and to see if perhaps you want to readjust that direction. I believe I think I heard somewhere on TV or on radio that, pilots, when they fly a plane, they constantly have to readjust the direction in which the plane is flying, because if they don't, it's going to land completely, in a different spot from where it's supposed to land. So, as we go through life, it is okay to readjust the direction we're moving in. Sometimes I remember when I was going to college, and I didn't know what I wanted to get the degree on. It's important to remember that when you are younger and you don't really know what, which direction you're going to. You have to remember, as life happens for you, you readjust. So, having just a general plan is okay to do, because as you move forward in your life, it continuously readjusts. So, live in this moment, be focused on what you are doing now. And the divine here is asking you to focus on your personal vision. Don't be distracted by other people's personal visions, even if they may be very, very close to you, which I know can be somewhat difficult. Now, the attachment card is all about, what you need to let go of. This card reveals that your movement forward is being stopped by attachments to perhaps old patterns or people. The chain at your wrist is bolted to fear, and the mask that this lady is holding is a mask of pretense. It's all about pretending. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, things are great. But in reality, they may not be so happy, and they may not be so great. The stuff that keeps you stuck could be physical addictions. So it could be, like drinking, smoking, I don't know, doing something else that's not healthy for you. It could be that you are attached to emotional patterns where, it's all my fault, it's all my fault, it's all my fault. It's a very unhealthy emotional pattern that sometimes we get into, blaming ourselves or maybe blaming other people. It's that kind of low vibrational thought process that sometimes people get stuck with. And of course, relationships also can keep us stuck. And I read somewhere recently that, I wish I wrote this down, but I read somewhere recently that people get accustomed to being in uncomfortable situations that they know, rather than trying things that they don't know. So a lot of times people will stay in the jobs that they no longer like, that no longer give them the passion that they want, the outcomes that they want to see. Sometimes people stay in relationships because, oh my gosh, even if that person doesn't really make me happy, at least I'm in a relationship. Look at all those other people who don't have relationships. It's important to let go of fear. And it's important to remember that you assign value. You assign value to whatever, to relationships, to jobs, to books, to situations in your life. So assign a different value. Change the values that you assign to different things. Who said that you cannot, change a career at, 50? Who said that you cannot open your own business at 20? Who said that you cannot pursue, something because other people haven't done that? It's important to remember not to be influenced by the exterior things, by exterior opinions. And that's why you have the Hermit, is the reminder from the divine to quiet down your mind. Focus on what is important to you and find people that are similar. There are so many people in this world that I'm sure you can find people who are like-minded. And also remember, sometimes it takes a little while, and it's okay. It's okay to, maybe struggle in the pursuit of what you want to achieve. It's all about the value that you assign to different situations and also to different perceptions. And sometimes it's hard to let go of people that, especially you grew up with, especially that, had a huge impact on forming your identity. But the point of life is to change. You are allowed to change. Other people are allowed to change as well. Transformations are happening, all the time. So it's important to remember. And of course it's difficult, it can be quite difficult, especially to let go of something you have been attached to for a while. Are you living in fear, addicted to old unhealthy habits, or so desperate about the future that you can't be happy now? The chains that bind you could be of your own making. This card is telling you it's time to take action. You need to break out of your chains and move forward to an open, free, healthy, and authentically happy life. It may take some courage and effort to let go, but know that you are capable of doing it. Until you do, the difficult energy will just repeat itself, keeping you stuck. Now, I also pulled a card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. Let's see what it can clarify for us. And we've got Whale Song resonating. Incredible. Whale Song is about remembering, harmonizing, and resonating. There are moments in life when you have a sense of deja vu that you visited this place, these feelings, this person. Yet there is a haunting quality to this, a melancholy, as life's mysterious fragility is also underlined, like a whale song that pleads for its simple notes to be matched by another. You have a short time to capture this essence and let it resonate in a way that it is potentially transformative, but only if you don't turn away. Now is the time to jump in the water and play. Be reminded of your creative self, your collaborative impulse to sing along, seeking harmony, beauty, purpose, meaning. At this time, that is your exact invitation. You will achieve more than the plans you set in motion if you use this opportunity to explore, to be curious, and take a much needed break from what your mind thinks it needs to accomplish. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, dear Sagittarius. I hope to see you again. I will be doing September readings very soon. This weekend, actually, I'll be starting to do the September readings. So, come on back for that. And again, thank you so much for visiting. I will see you next time.